Pakistan's Prime Minister has said that a peace deal between the US and Iran has been reached and that Islamabad is working with both sides to finalise next steps. After lashing out at Tehran earlier in the day, US President Donald Trump has shared a social media post by Iran's foreign minister that said a memorandum of understanding between the two sides has never been closer.
And has the Supreme Leader approved this deal, sir?
I understand the answer is yes.
This evening's apparent breakthrough follows a day of the usual drama between Washington and Tehran. The US president had raised expectations, but then posting on his Truth Social network, Mr. Trump dismissed Iran's government as weak and pathetic, accusing them of publishing false terms. Earlier, an Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson told state media that whilst a final decision had not been made, the deal on the table lifted sanctions and blockades in the Gulf. Multiple US media outlets were reporting a potential signing ceremony this weekend in Geneva. The US president is due in France on Monday for a G7 summit. According to Mr. Trump, in the Memorandum of Understanding, Tehran agreed to never have a nuclear weapon, but Iranian officials say the issue was pushed into future talks. The other major sticking point remains Lebanon, where Israel is continuing its bombardment and its battle with Iran-backed armed group Hezbollah. Tehran insists the war must end on all fronts. Pakistan's Prime Minister says tonight that a final text has been agreed, but whether Washington and Tehran are reading from the same page is another matter entirely. Whilst the diplomatic to and fro is full of recrimination, we do know tonight that both sides remain in contact and that there are terms on the table, even if the full picture remains unclear. David Landy, RTE News.
Well, staying with that story, and we're now joined by Nomi Bar-Yakov, who is a fellow at the Geneva Centre for Security Policy and also an international peace negotiator. Nomi, thank you for speaking to us on the 6-1 this evening. We've heard so many conflicting statements over the past 24 hours since Donald Trump announced that this deal was almost ready to be signed. But are you optimistic considering what we're hearing this evening from mediator Pakistan?
Yes, Sharon, I think for the first time, although I am actually cautiously optimistic. I don't think necessarily this is going to happen within 24 hours, but I think we're hearing cautiously optimistic statements from Iran, which is very important. Abbas Araghchi, the foreign minister of Iran, has said that Iran has never been as close to a deal. We've heard it many times from the US president, so I'm not reading too much into it, but the tone is different. And I know he also called Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who could, of course, potentially be a spoiler to the deal, to say the deal is on and you just have no choice but to be on board. Israel, of course, not being party to the negotiations.
That's right. Israel said yesterday that they were not party to the Memorandum of Understanding, and Pakistan warning today that it is aware of incessant misinformation from those who want to sabotage the deal. Who are they referring to there?
Well, the problem is in President Trump's social media post yesterday, there were 10 countries that were mentioned who were party to this. And 10 countries that have at least 2 mediators or representatives that are privy to the very sensitive details of the text, which is still being negotiated. I don't think the text has actually been completely finalized. I think we're very close to finalize it, to the final text. And within, when you have 20 people from 10 different countries privy to a text, leaks are bound to happen, especially if some countries are not that happy with the text. So given that we don't know for sure which country leaked the details of the memorandum, we can be sure that the leak was intentional.
We are hearing some of the details of the terms of the agreement this evening. They involve opening the Strait of Hormuz, we know, which has been closed to shipping traffic for the past few months, lifting the blockade, the US blockade there, the removal of enriched uranium material. And we're also hearing that the sanctions could be removed on Iran based on their performance. Do they sound like the broad outline of the terms of an agreement to you?
Well, I think the performance is a conditional, the benchmarks, and there's conditionality there. So there are 2 issues. There's the sanctions relief, whereby countries will the oil sanction relief, thereby many countries will be able to unfreeze assets and get money into Iran. There's also the question of unfreezing the frozen assets, of which there are many, many billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. so that they're talking also, Iran is requesting $300 billion in construction fees, basically to pay for the damage that was caused by the US and Israel. So there is a lot of talk about a lot of money. I don't think, though, about the enriched uranium. You've got 440 kilograms of enriched uranium. That's not part of the Memorandum of Understanding. The Memorandum of Understanding is pushing that back to the 60 days of negotiation. So basically, there's a framework about the opening of the Straits of Hormuz, and very importantly, the cessation of hostilities on all fronts. So all fronts means Lebanon, as well as Iran, US. And what is very important is that the nuclear deal and the fate of the 440 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, it does not look like the US got its way, and it does not look like the Iranians agreed for the US to move it out of Iran. It looks like the Iranians insisted on the dilution option. That means that the enriched uranium will be diluted in Iran under the supervision of the International Atomic Energy Committee, presumably the IAEA. And of course, the devil in every agreement is in the detail. And so you need a monitoring, verification, compliance mechanism. Those issues, the nuclear issue is the main thorny issues that will be negotiated during the 60 days following the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. So it's not part of the Memorandum of Understanding. Not the nitty-gritty bits of how it's going to, you have 450 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, which is a very high degree of enrichment, which is not a civilian degree of enrichment. And then you have a much larger quantity of 20% enriched uranium, and that too needs to be negotiated.
In a word, do you think Israel are going to get on board with this deal?
I don't think Israel's going to have any choice, but I think what is going to be important is to see whether Israel's not going to be able to attack Iran. I mean, the Prime Minister will make statements to say that they reserve the right to attack Iran if they're threatened by X, Y, or Z, either if Iran is building a nuclear bomb or because there's no doubt whatsoever that Iran will resume strengthen its damaged military capability. That's ballistic missiles, drones. It's not just, but Iran has committed to not going nuclear as part of the Memorandum of Understanding. The big question is whether Israel will withdraw from Lebanon.
We're totally out of time here. I'm really sorry. We could talk about this for much longer, and I'm sure there will be more to talk about in the coming days. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
My pleasure, as always.